Consumer Protection Loyalty Penalty and Customer Complaints Bill 2021, and I call on Deputy Jed Nash to move for leave to introduce. Deputy Nash, you have 5 minutes.
And thank you for the opportunity to introduce and move the Consumer Protection Loyalty Penalty and Customer Complaints Bill 2021, and it is co-signed by my colleagues Deputy Duncan Smith and Aodhán Ó Ríordáin. I think it's a timely bill, and it deals predominantly with the question of dual pricing in not just the Irish insurance market, but in other economic sectors too. As has been exposed by repeated central bank reports and other surveys, the practice whereby suppliers charge higher prices to existing customers who they believe are unlikely to switch to another provider in order to get a better deal is now what we might describe as endemic in this country. And the result is that in many cases people who stay with their supplier and their service provider end up paying significantly more, even when all other aspects under consideration are equal. So in particular, this loyalty penalty affects those disadvantaged and older customers who may not have the time, resources or knowledge to navigate their way around complex financial products, and neither should they in reality be expected to constantly switch products to get better value for money or indeed decent service. I think this should be a given in any modern democracy and regulated economy. Not only are non-switchers being ripped off, but they are also indirectly subsidising lower premiums for those regular switchers who are often more financially savvy and often better off to begin with. So, for instance, evidence from the UK has shown that, and I quote from their regulator, the loyalty penalty is significant and impacts on many people, including those who can least afford it. Now, the UK regulator has duly responded by introducing reforms to ban the practice of dual pricing once and for all, but yet again in Ireland we are lagging behind. So the first and immediate provision of this bill is to outlaw loyalty penalties for services provided to consumers on subscription. And importantly, this would not only apply, as I said at the outset, to insurance products, but also to other sectors such as utilities, broadband, phone contracts and so on. And secondly, and this whole area has been the subject of much debate, this bill will significantly strengthen existing consumer protection legislation and arguably enhance that to take account of some very serious issues that many citizens would have encountered in recent years with particular companies like Air, for example. Now, as it stands, there is no obligation on service providers to establish a system for handling customer complaints, or even to abide by their own procedures and commitments if they do have such a system in place. Now, that's not sustainable, and it's not something I think anybody in this House would support. So consequently, we have seen companies like Air, known for shoddy customer service, act with absolute impunity and treat their customers with contempt. There is no, or little or no, recourse when a customer has a problem with the customer complaints procedures operated by their subscription service providers. So such companies need to be held accountable for their actions, and this bill will achieve just that. I think we should all agree that where systems like this are failing, Ceann Comhairle, that the state has an obligation and a duty to step in to address the serious power imbalances that exist between businesses and their customers, and to legislate to protect the interests of citizens. So this legislation, in summation, will tip the balance in favour of the ordinary consumer, and serves, I think, as an important first step in tackling dodgy processes, cowboy companies and rip-off merchants alike. So I'm happy to move the bill first stage.